Yo, it's your girl Pika. It's Saturday night over here, and I am still in Singapore. Um, it's been a long day, y'all. I've been working this education fair all weekend so far. I got one more day left, and I'm home free. But it's been a long ass day. Lots and lots of people talking to just random people all day long has been interesting and tiring to say the least. But it's been great conversations, random topics. Obviously most of it surrounded by education and how we can better your child's future and stuff like that, but then I've met some pretty incredible people along the way too. So me, I long for random conversation. I long for things where we can actually connect on a subject other than the weather and, oh, what'd you do last night and what was for dinner, like bullshit. I don't want bullshit conversation anyway. So I think I was there by like 10:45. The event started at 11. Set up everything by myself. Baby girl was with me. She did her best, y'all. I was so proud of her today because obviously it's hard to be in a place like that where you have like a million people, bouncy houses, people in costumes, ballet dancers, just stuff for kids as far as the eye can see. And she was kind of stuck within like I don't know, like 100-foot radius of me. But she did really good. I'm really proud of her. So we hung out for a little bit today. I did my thing, didn't leave there till about, 6 o'clock this evening. And at that point, I just couldn't stand anymore. And baby girl was starting to fall asleep. So I just had to get out of there. Tomorrow I will be there. Tomorrow's the last day. And I'll be there for, another 6 to 8 hours tomorrow. And hopefully we catch another couple of leads for people who are genuinely interested in tuition. The hard thing about being in an event like that, right? The number one reason people go there is to get freebies and to, unload their kids for a little while, basically. So they go around and they have their kids dropped off at the bouncy house. They have them dropped off at the, the climbing wall and the soccer net. And, I think we had one of our I don't know, rugby players or something, not rugby, football or soccer players for the Singapore team that was there doing like a little mini clinic and stuff like that. So it was like, it was a lot of stuff to look at, lots and lots going on. But yeah, not my cup of tea, even if I did go as a visitor, not really somewhere I would want to be. It's too many people. It's just too crazy and too many reasons to say no to baby girl. She'd just be mad at me the rest of the day anyway. So that was today. I finished up my shift, came back home, picked up dinner on the way because we were just exhausted. I had rice at home and I could have just eaten rice at home, but I just felt like doing something different. So we picked up some chasu wonton noodles. They were so good. And obviously my favorite place to go is Boost for like a shake. She loves the smoothies from Boost actually. So we did that too, came back home and caught up on our favorite soaps. So we did our marathon of The Flash, Arrow, and Blind Spot just to catch up on this week's episodes. And that basically brought us to, 10 o'clock already, and we were just exhausted. So I put her to sleep and subsequently fell asleep myself and woke up in a panic, was like, shit, I haven't done my audio. So here I am with y'all. Just wanted to catch up and see what was going on. I want to talk to you a little bit about influence because before baby girl went to bed, she and I had a major heart-to-heart. So we've been talking about the future lately and talking about the past, just, things in general. And she's not your typical 6-year-old, you guys. She does not, she doesn't obsess about what to wear. She's not that frilly little girl. She does go through that, but more than likely she'll pull out like 5 different clothes or articles of clothing just to dress up and like layer and like tie it on her head and tie it on her arm and just, turn it into a costume of some sort. She's really, really creative that way. So I don't really stop her from much. I will put my foot in every now and again when there's like lots of clothes all over the floor. But other than that, I let her do her thing. So we were talking about the past. We were talking about family. We were talking about, just life in general. And she broke down, you guys. And she had me in tears. But basically, she was telling me that she's terrified of any changes to our life right now. Yeah, it's just me and her. Yeah, it's just the two of us. And a lot of times she's like, you know what? Because, it was just earlier today that she was like, can we just have more people in the house? Because it's just boring. It's just you and me. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see if I can't, organize some dinners or play groups or something. We'll just get more people in the house. And then tonight when she actually started talking to me, she was like, you know what? Matter of fact, let's not do nothing. I don't want no one else in this house. I just want it to be you and me. I don't want anyone else. And I was like, all right, well, it's kind of strange considering what you said, I don't know, just a couple of hours ago. So I asked her, all right, what's actually going on? What's running through your head? She was like, I know you and my dad aren't together anymore. And I'm kind of glad. I used to be mad about it. I used to be sad about it. I don't really remember him that much, but, talking to him every so often, he sounds so excited to hear from me, and he only wants to, talk to me. He wants me to come visit. He wants to come visit me, and he sounds so happy. But then when we try and call him, he doesn't answer. And if we don't call him, he doesn't call. And it hurts my feelings, and I don't like it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I understand that. And I'm sorry you feel that way. I mean, I'm trying really hard not to influence your decisions because that's your dad. I have a certain relationship with him, but you're welcome to have your own relationship with him as well. That's not for me to influence. But she's already she's observed all these things. She understands her feelings about it, and she's not happy. So I understand. There have been moments where we daydream a little bit and think about, what if we had more kids? What if I had more kids? What if I got married? What if we adopted kids? What if we got a dog? All kinds of stuff, just randomly, just to see how she feels about it. And sometimes she's super excited. Yeah, that would be so cool. We could dream a little bit and we have more kids around the house and I have someone to play with, or I have a dog and we can go do this, this, and this. Like, she has a great imagination and she's really thinking about these things. But today, I think it kind of all hit her at once. She was a little shocked and a little afraid. And she said, you know what? I don't want you to get married. And I was like, okay, well, explain to me what's going on. What were you thinking? What happened? What made you think of that all of a sudden? And she goes, I don't want you to get married because what if you love the other person more than you love me? And I was thinking, that wouldn't happen. But, let's go with this for a minute. Okay, well, why do you think that? She says, how can you love me and someone else? And it kind of hit me. She hasn't seen me with anyone. She hasn't seen me interact with anyone. And that includes other kids as well. Like, I had 2 stepkids, right? So she doesn't remember. She was too young to remember now what it was like to have 3 kids in the house and a husband. She doesn't remember what it was like for me to, drop one off at school and pick the other one up and go grocery shopping and do this, and this, and drop them off at football practice and, go watch the games and go cheerlead on the sidelines and, do all these things. She doesn't remember how I juggled. She doesn't remember what it felt like to have all 3 of them in the house, and if it felt any different to her to have more than one child, for me to have more than one child. I'd like to think I didn't play favorites, and I don't know. I mean, I think each one had their own moment, but I did my best. So she doesn't understand that there is enough to go around. She doesn't understand that to have more people in the house would mean more attention for her, because I wouldn't be the only one in the house to be able to give her attention. There would be other people to give her attention. So we would share, the workload almost. You know what I mean? So she was really, really upset. She was seriously in tears, and she was like, no, just don't change anything. Let's just be like this forever. And I was like, well, babe, that's not practical, because then we started talking about further into the future. She was like, I just want to go home and go to school and go home and go to school and just be with you. And I was like, that's cool and everything, but one day you're going to be old enough where you're going to go off to college and you're going to leave me behind. No, that never happened. I was like, no, just hear me out. There will be a time where you're ready to spread your wings a little bit. You're ready to go out, into the world and do your own thing and try a little bit. You're always welcome back in my house, wherever I am. You're always welcome. But at some point, you're going to want to try it for yourself. And she said, no. Here's what I want. If I find anyone that I want to marry, I want to come back home and live with you and that person. I said, yeah, I don't know. That might not be a good idea. You might not be okay with that. But she was like, no, I don't want to hear anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore. This is the way it's going to be. I don't want to leave you ever. And I don't want us to change ever. Fine. If you really want to get married, if you really want to have kids, if you want to adopt, if you want to have a dog, if you want to have other people in the house, fine. But I want to come first. And I was kind of shocked that she would even put that out there like that. I was not upset by any means, but I felt like touched and saddened at the same time. I don't know if I've influenced her life in a negative way by being single, by being there all the time, by not having, God, that scared the crap out of me, by not having a maid, by not having her in babysitting, by not going out and having someone else take care of her every so often. It's just me and her. We're like still attached by an umbilical cord or something. I don't know. But I was kind of shocked at the level of thought she'd put into this conversation we were having. So I wondered, do I influence her negatively? But in that same vein, what about the rest of my life? What about other areas of my life? I have never been the kind of person to depend on other people. I don't like it. I find that when I put my faith and my trust in someone else to get something done, somehow or another, they will fall short, or they'll do their own thing without actually consulting me. They no longer see it as work they're doing for me. They see it as something they are going to do or not, and it kind of gets swept under the rug. It's no longer important to them, but it's important to me still. So I find myself hesitant to let people in, hesitant to let people help me, because I don't trust them to help me. I don't. That's the God's honest truth. And maybe that's not the best way to do it, but that's who I am at the moment. I am a little bit of a fraidy cat, I guess. But the fact that I don't allow anyone to influence my life in that regard, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Now, I mean, I do take in a lot of information. I do consume a lot of content. I've talked about Cheryl lately, who's been helping me and pointing me in the right direction about things that she thinks would be helpful. And I know if I would ask someone like that for help, she would come back with 10 things of how to do it, which is great. I love that. But then there are those people in my life where if I ask them, hey, do you mind? I know you're pretty good at this. Do you mind trying it? That I don't know if that person is going to come back to me or not. I don't know if that the task I've given them is important enough for them to complete. I don't know if they care enough to complete it. I have several people in my life like that. I don't like giving anyone any kind of control over my life. And that includes my mom, my brothers, my cousin, whoever. I don't like giving anyone any kind of control over my life, because I find that I end up stuck a lot. As fast as I want to move, you may not be ready. And then I'm stuck waiting on your ass. I don't like it. I think that's been the biggest problem with me and teamwork when it comes to, group projects and stuff like that. I tend to do all the work because I don't trust you to do it. I will try, and I will expect you to do things, but once that deadline starts approaching, I'm going to be like, all right, well, where's this? And I don't want to harass you. I don't want to tell you off. I don't want to make you feel stupid or anything. So I just, do it myself. And yeah, it's probably a bad habit, and I should probably fix that. But right now, I'm not in a position to know how to manipulate that part of it. It comes down to influence, I guess. And yeah, it does come down to my intent and how I see other people, because how I see them is how they're going to respond to me, I guess. Maybe? Isn't that going along with the law of attraction and manifesting and co-creating all of that stuff? It's been on my mind a lot, influences, where they come from, how they change the course of, your journey, or change the direction of your journey, maybe. I reached out to a couple people on Fiverr to get a logo done. And I don't know, I've never done that before. I've never had to do anything like that before. For me, for the most part, if I need something done, I'm not going to ask anyone. I'm going to figure out how to do it my damn self and get it done. So then I have no one to be mad at but myself, But, these people on Fiverr, I don't know how the whole situation works, but apparently one was on vacation, which is fine, I understand. But the other one, asked a bunch of questions, made me feel like, okay, yeah, they could probably do it. And then last minute was like, yeah, I can't do it. Okay. So I guess I'm back to square one. I reached out to a prominent AV person, not thinking they would ever reply to me in a million years. It was a suggestion by Cheryl. So I reached out to him, and he was on vacation when I did reach out to him. But when he got back, he actually did write back. I was kind of, shocked and floored. But the answer he gave me was kind of, I don't know, thoughtless, to say the least. Basically, it was like, hey, how do I do this? Because I know you're in charge of this person's, AV and stuff. How do I do this? And they go, oh, well, just follow YouTube tutorials. That's amazing advice. Thank you so much. I couldn't have figured that out to save my life. Great. Thank you. And I'm thinking, yeah, great. I was hoping you'd point me out to, I don't know, somebody or somebody's channel or somebody you'd recommend, or a particular, tutorial that you think would help. I don't know. Because for me, to look up things, you need certain keywords, right? You need to understand what the keywords are to get to the exact thing that you're looking for. Otherwise, you kind of, the search is too broad. You won't really hit what you're aiming for because you don't know what you're aiming for, right? Same goes for the filming of the TV show. I was asking someone how to splice together, and not even splice, it's kind of like marry audio and video together. And this guy is a prominent videographer. He is well known for a local UK artist who's just recently been signed. And I mean, he has a name for himself. He's been doing his damn thing for a while now, and he's like the go-to person for this particular artist. He does all of his video, music video shoots and all that stuff now. I'm really impressed with him as a person. So I reached out. He's a friend of mine. I reached out and I said, hey, can you guide me on how to, where do I go to get the information that I need to get this done? And he says, oh yeah, there's free software on the internet. No shit, Sherlock. You want to give me some direction, or are you just going to hey, no, you do it yourself? So I feel irritated by people like that. I don't like it when people do stuff like that. Because I'm not that kind of person, and I don't expect, you should never expect that from me. So I'm hoping that I don't have to expect that from you. So these are the kinds of things that influence me in my decisions going forward as far as business is concerned. I get super irritated when people are flaky like that. When people don't actually have genuine responses. It doesn't take you 2 seconds to recommend something that you've tried or you've seen before that works. If you don't know, say you don't know. That's enough. That's perfect. But if you're in that field, there's a good chance that you do know. But the fact that you would, kind of brush me up and say, oh yeah, just check online. Okay. Makes me a little, sad at the way that life is going. Information is out there, you guys. There's lots of information out there. Obviously, there are some things that you probably shouldn't download because it's not actually an authentic download. It's going to fuck up your computer instead. So that's what I was kind of trying to avoid, like not to download something that would like screw up my computer. Because I'm not in a position to be able to spend money like that. But these people, they think that, they're real slick and they're real smart and this is the way they can help people the best. And I really feel sorry for them because I don't see that as the future of business. I don't see that as the future of how we do business, how we interact with each other. I truly am, a Gary Vaynerchuk geek. I love everything he says. Yes, he pisses me off. Yes, he's a little bit of an ass, but that's okay because that's the kind of person he needs to be. That's who he is, and he's not going to change for anybody, and I like that about him. I'm hoping that at some point my skin becomes thick enough where I'm like him too, and I don't give a shit what anyone does or thinks or says, and I just go on my merry way. I'm kind of getting there now, but it still does hurt my feelings a little bit when people don't take the time to actually really answer your questions. So influence has been on my mind a lot. We're influenced by the people out there that are speaking their truth, speaking their minds. Everyone has a YouTube channel. I mean, I do too. Everyone has, content that they put out. They have, recommendations. They're doing social networking. They're doing network marketing. They're doing pyramid schemes. They're doing, MLMs. They're doing all kinds of stuff. There's stuff out there. There's tons of propaganda out there. So what do you trust? And that's where, people that should be the people you go to first. Now, I do have some people out there that, Cheryl's out there, my boy in Sri Lanka's out there, my brother is out there. Whenever I ask them stuff, they really do take the time and they answer. It doesn't kill you. It doesn't make you any smaller to share the information. The information's out there anyway. I'm going to get to it at some point. It's just, are you willing to, share it so I can get there a little faster? Or are you just going to be stingy and be like, nah, I don't want her ahead of me? Influence. There's so much influence out there. My daughter is influenced by the kids around her at school. I am influenced by the kinds of people I work with. I am influenced by the kind of marriages that I see around me. I'm influenced by the kind of parents I see around me. I worry a lot. I worry that I can't be my authentic self. I worry that I'm, I'm influenced in a way that I'm taken off the path I'm meant to be. I worry that I'm going to screw her up, you guys. As ridiculous as that sounds, I worry and I care. If you're in my inner circle, I care. I really, really care. I had an RVP sister of mine go through a really tough situation recently. And our CEO reached out and she said, you know what, keep an eye on her. And I said, yeah, I was planning on doing it anyway. And there are people out there who are willing to throw money at a situation. There are people out there that are willing to, share posts and, mention and shout out and whatever. But for me, I figured the best way I could help her was to just reach out to her and ask her what she needed. Now, when you go through grief, I mean when you lose someone and go through grief, you can't really reach out and ask someone, hey, what do you need? It's not that simple. And the way they would take that question is not going to lead you into a conversation where you can actually do some good in that situation. So basically all I did was start off by sending her a message every morning, just to say, hey, good morning, how are you? I'm thinking about you. If you need me, I'm here. And that's who I am in any relationship, actually. My cousins know, not all of them appreciate it, that's cool too. My brothers know, my mom, my aunts, everybody knows. If I am cool with you, if you are in my inner circle, if we talk more than, I don't know, twice a week, I'm going to check in on you. I'm not going to be harassing or irritating or anything like that. It's just more like, if I think of you and I see a post, I'm going to share it. If I see a meme that made me think of you, I'm going to share it. If I saw a movie, heard a song, whatever, if something comes across my mind and it reminds me of you, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to say, hey, thought of you today. Hey, what's going on? How's it been? How you doing? Because I need you to know that I thought of you that day. I don't care what situation may be going in. I don't know if you want to hear from me or not. It doesn't matter, because this is who I am. Take it or leave it, basically. Take all of it or none of it. You can't take it sometimes. But that all comes down to influence, right? My influence on you, my goal as an influencer eventually, is to let you know that you can. You're capable. You have what it takes. You have the resources around you. You just have to open your eyes and be ready. I want you to know that no matter where you are in the world, no matter what stage of life you're in, no matter where you are in your journey, if I could find my way out, you can. I have been suicidal. I have been depressed. I have been under the influence of a love that was super toxic. I've been there. I've done that. Got t-shirts, postcards, scars, whatever. And a lot of times I didn't reach out to ask for help. I had to figure it out myself. A lot of times I pushed through with inner strength. A lot of times I used my anger to get through. I have a temper, you guys. I've tried to hold my temper for about 20 years now. And luckily for me, I have not had a chance to lose it. I'm happy. But I do use whatever that stockpile of anger is inside of me to push through to whatever I need to do next. When I use that stockpile, though, that wall goes up. That wall goes up real high and real thick. I don't listen to people. I don't pay attention to people. I tend to bulldoze when I'm in that mood. But I get what I need to get done. That's my coping mechanism. But when I show you that I'm there, that I'm available, that, if you need me, just reach out, I'm right there. It doesn't matter what time, and my girls know. I mean, Mia knows out in China. Vanessa knows out in Canada. Cheryl knows. There are a lot of people who know. They basically think I don't sleep, which I don't know if I actually sleep either. But they know. They know if they need me, they can reach out. They know if they need me, they just have to send me a message. And if I don't write right away, I'm going to respond. I will. I was raised in a time where if someone writes to you, if they take the time to write to you, you fucking respond. It is the polite thing to do. Now, obviously, if they go off the deep end and do some dumb shit, like I had a couple people reach out to me through DMs, right? Everyone says it's going down the DMs. Yeah, it is going down the DMs. It's not always pretty either. It's like ridiculous and stupid. I had someone connect and they were like, yeah, I'm a big fan of your page. Why don't we connect? And I was thinking, all right, well, maybe this is a potential client, potential colleague, potential, I don't know, connection somewhere. Let me see. Allow the damn message to come through and suddenly I'm getting like stupid pictures. So they get blocked with a quickness and I'm thinking, why did I even take a chance? But that's who I am, all right? If you write to me and it's of a decent enough nature, I'm going to write you back. If you ask me for advice, I'm going to write you back. If you suddenly get mad at me and, send me 20 messages about how you're upset about something, I'm going to write you back because I want to know what the hell I did wrong. I want to find out where I can fix it because I'm a fixer. But it all comes down to a matter of influence. I am who I am because of the influence in my life. My daughter asks me those kinds of questions because of the influences in her life. I'm trying really hard not to influence her life one way or another that much when it comes to people and how to deal with people. But as she asks me questions, yeah, I'm going to tell her the most diplomatic way to deal with them, but I'm also going to give her a little bit of a lesson on, yeah, but you need to know when to fight back and you need to know when to shut up. So most of this rant has been basically about a conversation I had with my daughter. Because I was not prepared for that conversation. I wasn't ready to hear her tell me that she doesn't want to trust me to love her and anyone else that comes into our lives. She's not ready. She doesn't think it could be possible. And I understand where that's coming from because she's lost a lot of people in the 4 years that I've been in Singapore. I also understand that one of the major influences in her life for her to feel like there's not enough love to go around was the maid we had, the akka we had in our house to take care of us. She was forever threatening her that, if she doesn't act right, I won't come home. If she doesn't act right, your mom will stop loving you. If she doesn't act right, people will leave her. And that wasn't the message I wanted her to give her, obviously, but I wasn't with her all the time. That's the whole point of having a maid, because I was working night shifts. So I can't undo what influences she's had on her life right now. Given some time and leading by example, yeah, probably in the future, but right now she's still in that mode where, yeah, but Akka said that this is how it works, and I'm thinking, wow, damn it, why? This girl has such a big heart. And I try really hard not to let her dull any of it because I don't want her to change. I don't want her to change. There's not enough people in this world like her with those big wide eyes, that huge smile. If you ask her what her superpower is, she will tell you. Love is her superpower. She gives the best hugs, the kind that where she squeezes you, you feel like all your broken pieces will stick back together. She's such a sweetheart, and she's so open about everything. And I hope she never changes, really. And I guess that's my job as a mom, to protect who she is at this moment, so that she doesn't change that much. I've changed so much. I'm so afraid. I'm afraid of being let down. I'm afraid of being loved. I'm afraid of being in another relationship because they haven't worked out to this point. And I keep wondering if I am that main cause. If you ask my family, they're like, no, it's not you, it's the other person. Okay, fine, but then aren't I the common denominator? Anyway, that's another topic for another night, but influencing. People influence you in your decisions. They influence your moods. They influence the way you think. They influence what you're afraid of. They add to the real in your head sometimes. And right now, my daughter is afraid of change. And that's not bad. That's not a big deal. It's to be expected. She's only 6. She's getting ready to look at, actual school next year. So yeah, she's a little afraid. She's thinking about, oh my gosh. She's going through senioritis, you guys. She's in K2, right? So she's about to change schools and then go to a different school. And she's already thinking, man, I will never see these kids again. I am so sad. And I'm thinking, don't be sad now. You got, a month and a half left with these people. Why don't you just enjoy the time you have? But she's already feeling it. She's already thinking that way. She's 6. Anyway, watch your circle. Pay attention to what influences you. Understand why it is that it influences you. Sometimes you're real stubborn and obstinate about what goes on and you're like, nah, fuck that. Nope, I don't believe it. And sometimes you're like, yeah, but what if? So you need to watch that. You need to really pay attention to what influences you. Why it influences you. Why are some things easier to swallow and believe than others? Why is it sometimes you can be firm in your belief, stubborn to a fault, and not believe anything anyone says and just go do what you got to do? And some days you're like, yeah, they're right. What do I have to offer? They're right. I'm divorced and older than most people. Like, who would ever want to marry me? That shit is real. But there is a difference. Everything comes from your mind. If you're stubborn and obstinate on one side and like soft and easily hurt on the other, you need to figure out what that changes, what that difference is. How can you apply it everywhere so you protect yourself a little bit? Anyway, I hope I made sense. I was all over the place a little bit, but it was all about influence. Everything is influencing you. Everything. What you watch on TV, the music you listen to, the way you think, the things you allow yourself to do when you're upset. That is a trap. A sand trap. But these are all things you can get a measure of control over if you can control your mind. How you feel about a situation. How you think about a situation. Super hard to do. I can very happily, easily sit here and tell you, yeah, just change your mind. Yeah, it's not that easy. I screw up every day. I'm telling you. But that's where it lies. It's in your hands. It's in your mind. If you can master that, man, there is no limit. I saw a video of a guy who learned to do a backflip, unassisted backflip, in 6 hours. And yeah, he fell a lot. But something in him somewhere said, don't give up. Just keep going. I don't care what anybody says. Just do it. And he did it in 6 hours. That's freaking crazy. I wanted to go do that, but I don't think I have any space that's safe enough for me to try, so maybe another time. If there's a will, there's a way. It doesn't matter who influences you. It matters who you allow to influence you. Get it? Good. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. And I hope you have a blessed Saturday evening. Yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow to be over, seriously. But I'll talk to you again tomorrow, okay? Bye.